Greetings from YouTubeville. Once again, Danny Savage back in action. Wishing everybody a good morning on this Sunday. Today, we're going to just have some fun, throw out some like five guards names for the 2024 fall 2025 NFL draft. These first five I'm going to throw at you was a little bit tricky because, like, two or three of these guys, like, they've been around since the dinosaurs. They're like overaged. They're going to be super seniors. So, and a few of these guys have played almost every single position on the offensive line. That's how long they've been around. So, this is going to be a little bit tricky, but all it is throwing out five names and we're having fun. We'll probably throw out another 20 before even the season starts, probably maybe 15 before the season starts. It just makes it a lot easier for my goal of like 300 to 400 players pre-draft. So, by July the 1st, my goal is to 90, have 90 guys thrown out. Tomorrow, we're going to do linebackers, and then we'll go back, swing back around and throw out another five defensive tackles. Then we'll go down the line to corners. And my last position we'll do is quarterbacks, which I hate. I hate ranking quarterbacks, and it seems like, well, I'm not ranking them. I'm just throwing names out. But I just hate doing quarterbacks because, listen, I know my strengths, I know my weaknesses, and I know quarterbacks my weaknesses. But it seems like all these pro NFL executives, quarterbacks are their weaknesses because these dudes are getting paid millions and millions of dollars, and they pick busts every single year. So it seems like that's everyone's weakest position. All right. First kid is a kid, he's been around forever. His name is Zion Nelson from Miami, the U. 6'5", 320. He's a super senior. This kid's played left tackle, left guard, right tackle. Everyone's been predicting this kid to come out since like 2021, 2022. But it just seems like he was crazy hyped back then. Like I said, that's why I don't understand why like a lot of guys watch two games on somebody and then gives them a rank. Well, this kid's been playing since like the COVID year. There's a hell of a lot more tape on this kid than two games. That's why I just don't understand it. It seems like they just haven't settled him into a position yet where he's comfortable. He doesn't give up that many sacks at all. It's just I don't know if Miami has flipped him around so much because of injury, or like they slid him inside to guard because they figure he's better in a phone booth. I personally don't look at him as a mauler. I personally look at him as more of a finesse technician guy. So, like I said, he might switch back to left tackle this year because Miami's right tackle is set. They got this huge island guy, huge, but he's only in his second year, and he's not good. He can't come out yet. This dude's just a monster made of muscle. So Zion Nelson is a kid where you can see him at left guard this year. You can see him at left tackle this year. It all depends on injuries, and it all depends on if finally it's all come together for him to play left tackle. What I don't like about super seniors, especially on the offensive line, when you're 24 and you're blocking a kid 19, 20, you don't think that is a major gap? I personally know, I know I could have played football D1 when I was 24 years old. I know that for a fact. 19, 18, I couldn't, but at 24, I could have. 100% I could have at 24. It doesn't count as much as the skill positions. But for offensive line, defensive line, it definitely does. You have that giant age gap. You're not mature. You're not even full grown at 18, 19, 20. 24, you're full grown. So that's why, like, when I see super seniors, especially along the trenches, I get a little weary. That's why just want to speak up a little bit about BYU. That's why I'm never really a fan of BYU offensive linemen, because BYU is famous. When you go there, they send you on a 2-year Mormon mission. So let's say you're out of high school at 19. You go to college, they send you on a Mormon mission for 2 years. Now you come back, you're 21-year-old true freshman. And then that gives you 5 years of eligibility. So it's in the years past, it's been common to have 25, 26-year-old offensive linemen at BYU. Once again, when you're 25, 26, and you're a grown man, and you're playing up against a 19-year-old, these dudes get overdrafted. Dallas had an undrafted free agent from BYU a few years ago, Will Empry. He was a center. He never made the team or nothing. Bro, the kid was a 27-year-old rookie in training camp in the fall, in the summer. So when you see super seniors, the hairs on the back of your neck should stand up. In the trenches, offensive line and defensive line. Skill positions, it really doesn't matter. Another kid that's been around since the dinosaurs, Matthew Bedford from Indiana. 6'6", 315. Bro, this kid has played every position. He's played left tackle, left guard, right tackle. He has the size where that kid probably will get drafted just because of his size and versatility. This offseason here, I'm going to be honest with you, he really didn't blow me out of the waters at Indiana. So he was at Indiana for like 4 or 5 years. Because remember, 2020 never counted. COVID year did not count. Whether it was your first year or your last year, your second or third, it did not count. Did not count for eligibility. That's why you got kids with 5, 6 years in college. So he left Indiana as a graduate senior, and then he went to Colorado. He stayed at Colorado for like a week. And I don't know, I guess he didn't like prime or didn't like the snow. I guess he likes the rain better. He transferred to Oregon. Now, we can see this kid at tackle this year, or we can see this kid at guard. We really don't know yet. Like I said, we're just having fun on this Saturday throwing out some names. Another kid is Joanna Martian, 6'5", 320 out of USC. Kind of similar story with this kid. He's very versatile. He's played tackle. He's played guard. And there's even talk about this year him switching to center. So I don't know if he can't truly find a position, or USC is just moving him around because he's that versatile, and their center position is like truly a weakness. But also, too, that will impress scouts that this kid can play offensive tackle, guard, and now he could snap the ball. And like I was saying the other day, I like my big guys. I like my big centers. A kid I like a lot, Marcus Tate out of Clemson, 6'6", 335. 3-year starter. I know a lot of people have been down lately. It just seems like lately, Clemson has been putting out better defensive linemen and linebackers than linemen. So, but he has the experience, he has the size, and he has the versatility too. If you want to probably throw him out to tackle, which some teams might. So, like I said, we're just having fun, throwing out 5 names. Within the next week, I'm going to throw out 5 more names, and my goal is just to get to 90 by July the 1st. So far on this list, probably the best guy I'm going to give you is Tate Rutledge from Georgia, 6'6", 315. This kid's been a starter for 4 years, has that big size. Don't be shocked, though, in the NFL, they might want to switch him to tackle. I would leave him where he's at. You know what I'm saying? He ain't been a 4-year starter for nothing. So I would leave him at, we all know Georgia just produces offensive linemen year after year after year. So that is a kid to watch out for. That probably will be a it's hard to tell now, but he's definitely going to be 100% a top 10 guard for this coming fall, barring no injuries, no nothing. Another kid that's been around for a while, Donovan Jackson out of Ohio State, 6'4", 330. He could have came out last year, but I think he's played both guard spots, multi-year starter. But I also think last year, with the depth of the offensive line class, because let's be honest, this past April's draft, offensive line was crazy, crazy deep. So listen, if you're on an NIL deal at Ohio State and you got years left, you got time left to play, you have more years of eligibility to play. Let's balance this out. Go to the NFL with a chance to get cut, or stay in college and bang cheerleaders. What would you do? I'm just saying. So he came back, and in a way, can you blame him? Do you want him to go to the NFL and fizzle out in 2 years, or just stay at Ohio State? It's crazy. A lot of young kids that go to Ohio State, they compare Ohio State. There's kids from New York that get drafted and go to Ohio State, kids from like Brooklyn and Queens, and they say Ohio State University is like another New York City, the atmosphere. And you know them, they treat their guys like, they treat them like great over there. So like I said, 2, 3, 4, 5. I might have threw out 6 to you. Who knows today? I might have threw you as an extra one. I'm not a morning person. That's why I work nights over 20 years. So, like I said, this is no way we're ranking people. This is just throwing 5 names, 6 names out to watch over the college fall season. All these teams I just gave you, they're always on TV. So if you're watching them, they should stick out to you. But we honestly don't know. A lot of these dudes have flip-flopped positions so much, we don't know where they're going to put them at. And they could also even change them again once they get to the NFL. So that's it for interior offensive linemen. We did tackles, we did guards, we did centers. Tomorrow, we're going to start linebackers. Then I'm going to swing back to throw out 5 more defensive tackles. Then we're going to go on to wide receivers and corners. Then I'm going to swing back again and throw out 5 more tackles, 5 more guards, 5 more centers, and 5 more defensive edges. So altogether, it should be like 10 people per position that I'm just throwing out there, having fun, because we're in June and a million things can happen from now until 0 week. 0 week is the last week in August. That's when college football season starts. Once we get there, the channel's going to switch more into college football every day. Also, guys that are rising and guys that are falling. So you're going to see weekly videos of, like I said, risers and fallers and more handicapping and stuff like that. But my goal from now until pre-draft is going to be I'm going to try to get to like definitely minimum of 300. Want to get to at least 400 this year. I want to go a little bit more in depth, even with the smaller schools, because I have a lot of smaller schools in my eyes and at prospects, and you'd be surprised how many of these smaller school kids make it in the NFL and they never even were drafted. But those kids will fall into my sleepers and stuff like that. But it's also good to watch the channel is because at the skill positions, oh, you have college football Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday nights. And a lot of, besides Friday nights, but a lot of Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays is smaller schools on football. And bro, you can make crazy money doing props and just doing game lines on all three games. So there's a lot of stuff to watch. But I mean, I'm a Cowboy fan, but this channel is basically going to be college football draft, college football props, and handicapping. And we'll throw out Dallas Cowboy stuff here and there, but it's going to be all college based. On a Sunday morning, hope you like the guys I threw out there. Like I said, tomorrow we're going to do linebackers. We're going to throw out 5 names at linebacker, and then boom, 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 boom. We're going to go down the list. When you're rocking with the GWO, it's for life. Thank you.